Good morning. It's 10 o'clock West Coast time, Friday, August the 14th. I woke up this morning, which I typically do, of course, and the first thing I notice is my arms sticking up in the air, resting on my elbows. And was thinking about that. And the fact that I'm typically now, as of a week and a half ago, doing this, which coincides with my having brought in my spheres, which I've had out in my truck for ever and ever since I moved away from Priest River up north. And I think what it is I'm going through another evolution of my metaphysicality in which I feel forced, kind of prone to use my hands all the time as I conduct myself throughout the day. I've spoken about the fact that this energy is getting stronger in me, and I don't think it has anything to do with Jay cranking us up even more, which he promised to do once he crosses over. It's just that I've gotten to that point where I can't hold it back. But I was thinking about that and looking at all the stuff that's around me and folding it and merging it and layering it. I've stated before that people have this ability. It's unavoidable. It's Jay's energy that couples with our own, I think. I've called it physiokinetics because I don't know exactly what term to call it. I want to share something with you. I just, of course, like I said, just recently brought my spheres in from outside. I've been putting them and storing them in my truck about 100 feet away from where I live now, my new apartment. And in the past, I've typically felt them so strongly I just couldn't be around them. And I was forced to put them away for I never determined how long I'd be putting them away, but I have to get them out of the truck. And I'm lingering, okay? What's going on is that energy is getting to me. Now, I showed you, let me take the camera if I can quickly put it over there. There are my spheres with all the Jay's books that I purchased. And then this bowl of stones that Deanna included within my orders, and orders of the spheres. And I think what's going on now is that I've been going through this transition period in which I'm just kind of out of control. Now you could see from my videos, video number 54 and 53, I'm just all over the place. And I feel trembling. I'm stumbling over my words. I think that has everything to do with the fact that I've got all these spheres now coming up to speed. I'm coming up to speed, and I'm feeling this stuff all at once. Really interesting. Because in my personal life, I'm a little bit more subdued. I wanted to point this out because I think I need to spend time speaking to the newbies that'll be coming on board or have come on board with their own DNA-ICUC from the source consultants that are out there. And it's really a tough thing to come on board and learn everything that has to be known, at least to get started evolving metaphysically without having some kind of guidance. When I, in the past, had consults with the source consultants, I had one, two, three, four consults, all different people. They were just getting started in their consultancy, and they didn't really understand how to proceed forward because it's TOT, time on task. They still needed to work with people to understand what other people's metaphysicality was so that they in turn can learn from it and then pass on the gems of their discoveries in how to, not only to confirm that a person was evolving, but to put it, to talk in a way where it would encourage people. They did their best. What I want to do periodically, starting out even now, is to formalize some of the ideas I have that I believe the newbies should understand as primers for moving forward to developing their own abilities. And essentially what it's turned out to be is that J-Essex from the very start has explained to us that it's nothing matter than taking deep breaths, don't suck in the clouds, relaxing, and inevitably to take ownership of what it is we discover about that self and move on. Spring forward, I guess. Then there's the Bershu Onder, who years ago had her videos posted. She's one of my favorite consultants besides Aya Monique Pina. And what she had talked about is the fact that it's better not to look at videos out there on the internet of other people and how they are moving forward to cultivate their metaphysicality. I don't think she meant not looking at the Spiritual Foundation membership and what videos they were producing, but she was adamant about the idea of copying other people because it disassociates herself from who we really are innately, and how it must come to the surface, must be cultivated by itself. So she's very eloquent in the way she expressed herself in that one video called Over Searching the Internet. I've downloaded all of her videos and have kept that one in particular in my mind for the years that I've seen it uploaded onto YouTube. I think she uploaded it somewhere around maybe the end of summer 2016. And so with that basic information plus what I'm learning along the way and what other people I believe are finding out about themselves in, again, cultivating their metaphysicality, I think it's important that we all pool this information and present it to people so that they don't have to struggle as much as we have. And understandably, Jay really would prefer that we take ownership. We individually find our own way through this evolution of ours. But times are such that there's going to be such crisis and calamity in this world once Jay crosses over. I don't think people are going to have enough time to worry about metaphysical stuff as opposed to just moving forward and trying to help themselves thrive and survive during the tough times that are going to happen. And you all know, if you've been cranked up and have been following Jay's videos over the years that he's determined to reset this world. And that on top of the fact that most alternative news media is talking now about the economic collapse that is hovering in the wings. So we're going to get a double whammy, and that this world's going to make it very difficult to proceed forward without some pre-preparation, which I'm all about now. I will be producing videos about how to prep. Yesterday, day before, I went to my storage units up at Priest Lake, and I was going to videotape I was going to take a tour of both cargo containers I have there, still with my preps, my resources, my supplies of what I intended to use while living at Priest Lake. And then there was one storage unit that I devoted totally for storing food. I wanted to take tours of these three places just to show you what's involved with preparing for the reset, in my opinion, effectively. So that will be coming up, meaning I will be touring these storage places come Sunday, and I'll post the videos of this stuff presumably on Mondays. I still have to figure out how to transfer my camera video to my channel. It's just nothing more than looking at the technicals of that, I guess. But I'd like to add something before I move on. I've already talked about what it is that the preppers, the newbies should do to move forward in their metaphysicality cultivating. The thing that has made the difference in my style of evolution is the fact that I always looked at the nuance, the details of what it is I've been feeling along the way. I think that's extremely important to pay attention to, because there are things that I've learned in feeling, deeply feeling what's going on inside of me, that I probably would not have realized if I hadn't. Alexis Hart has done something outstanding. I think I talked about it before. But years ago, when he had two of his videos posted, the names I can't recall of those postings, I can't recall the dates of them either, somewhere around 2016, 2017. They are removed now. He has a new channel, which I still have to find out the name of. He was sitting there in each one of the first two videos he produced, and he was talking about what he was feeling inside. He was evolving while talking about it to the public, and I never forgot that, but I never connected to what exactly he was doing until a few months back, I don't know, 5 months back, when I was living in Priest River. I believe that he's developed a simple idea in feeling himself through his own metaphysicality by openly talking about, again, that what is going inside of him. And in a way, it's not unusual. People do talk to themselves openly. But he took his time feeling the things that were evident in himself that led to something, maybe a profound interpretation, a profound understanding that I don't think a person could truly understand without that process. I have been following his lead now for over a couple weeks maybe, and I can truly say that I've discovered 2 o'clock in the morning, even while using his technique, just thinking and speaking to myself, trying to feel what's going on inside of me, churning inside of me. I've come to realize some things, more topical information that I need to pass on to people. I discovered, for example, the truth in what JS6 has always said about humanity, how it's been misguided, redirected to be what it isn't. I need to post a video on that. I'm going to have to think it through. It's rather sophisticated. I'm not saying I'm sophisticated. I'm just saying that I need to present this information in such a way that it makes a big impact on people. I wouldn't have ever come to understanding something like this without sitting down and just feeling myself. This is really important stuff. So, even though I'm not going to upload this video on YouTube, I typically generate somewhere around 20 videos before I decide which one I will upload. I'm laying the groundwork for subsequent videos that I will be developing in the future, that being more advice that I could pass on to the newbies out there, and then perhaps information to whet the appetites of people who've been around for a while. Those people who certainly have 13 years experience developing their own metaphysicality, which I hope someday they will reveal and introduce as videos on YouTube so that the rest of us can see where they're at. I now have obviously simmered down from being the wild, somewhat uncontrolled person that I was in videos 54 and 53. So whether that type of persona, that behavior comes up again, I can't tell you. I can tell you though that more and more I'm going to be displaying my hands as they work to uncover. It's a typical behavior I'm going through these days, which I don't show the public because it's a little bit not embarrassing, but it's revealing, and they may think I'm weird. But I'm actually not so much cultivating the metaphysicality in me, but I feel like a swirling mass of lava lamp, if you're familiar with that lamp, in which back in the 1960s this lamp was popular, I think, because there's an emulsion that would evolve and twist and turn inside a transparent vase when the electricity to the light bulb was turned on. I feel like that all the time. The energy is just playing with me, and I want to subdue it somewhat by keeping it at bay. So I can do that by moving my hands around. And I see the energy, and it intensifies everything that I'm doing, like Jay said, inside my body. So if I'm not feeling that great, then I move the energy around, and I try to see it in terms of, the word is assuaging. It's a weird word, but the energy smooths out all the weirdness that's going on. But then there's outside of myself. I feel like I'm in the midst of a whirlpool where the water's swishing around me. And it just feels like that against my skin. When I direct my hands and fingers towards my body, there's always a response. And I believe I talked about this in my last video, maybe. I'm forgetful at times and I'm having to write down things I discovered so I won't forget. Like the last 2, now 3 videos I'll be having, new ones I'll be having on my channel. I've got to write a script out so I don't forget the points I've been making. I think it'd be a little bit tiresome if I talk about the things I previously have, although people need to recollect some important points that require, just like the J does, requires that I repeat them. So I'm lingering here. I'm not going to be uploading this video. In fact, I'm going to erase it as soon as I leave the screen here. So in any case, let me stop.